The story of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 to Nancy and Thomas Lincoln in a one-room log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky. Lincoln only attended 3 short periods of local schools for his formal education because he had to work constantly on his father's farm to support his family. Although he had very little formal education, he read voraciously. His family moved to southwestern Indiana in 1816 as a result of a lawsuit challenging the title to his father's Kentucky farm. The saddest time of his boyhood came after his mother passed away in the autumn of 1818. He saw her buried in the forest when he was 9 years old and had to face a winter without the comfort of a mother's love. His father then remarried Sarah Bush Johnston. In 1830, his family moved to Macon County in southern Illinois, and Lincoln got a job working on a river flatboat hauling freight down the Mississippi River to New Orleans. After settling in the town of New Salem, Illinois, he learned social skills and honed his storytelling aptitude while working as a laborer, shopkeeper, and postmaster. Lincoln then became involved in local politics as a supporter of the Whig Party. He was well liked and elected to the lower house of the Illinois state legislature in 1834. Lincoln studied law on his own, passing the bar examination in 1836. The following year, he moved to the newly named state capital of Springfield. He worked there as a lawyer and served clients ranging from individual residents of small towns to national railroad lines. Lincoln met Mary Todd in Springfield, Illinois, where he was practicing as a lawyer. Despite her family's concerns, they were married in 1842 and had 4 boys. Only one lived to adulthood. In 1847, Abraham Lincoln ran for and was elected to the United States House of Representatives. He only served 1 term in the 30th Congress, during which he opposed and spoke out on the Mexican War, but other than that, his tenure there was unremarkable and unfulfilling. He went back to Illinois and focused once more on his legal career, which he was master at. He ran for the U.S. Senate in 1855 and lost, but ran again in 1858 against Stephen A. Douglas. In 1860, Lincoln was nominated for President of the United States by the Republican Party. Lincoln received 180 Electoral College votes and nearly 40% of the popular vote, winning all northern states except New Jersey, plus California and Oregon. The election of Lincoln sparked widespread concern in the South, with many believing that Lincoln, more than any candidate running in 1860, posed a threat to the institution of slavery. South Carolina seceded from the Union on December 20, just 6 weeks after Lincoln was elected and 3 weeks before he took office, paving the way for 6 other states of Deep South to follow suit throughout early 1861. Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated as the 16th President of the United States on March 4, 1861. Many radical Republicans were appointed to his cabinet, including Edwin M. Stanton, Salmon P. Chase, and Charles F. Adams as Minister to Great Britain. 6 weeks after the inaugural, Confederate forces led by P.G.T. Beauregard launched a 2-day bombardment of Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, signaling the start of the American Civil War. In response to the events at Fort Sumter, Lincoln took immediate action, pressing for the recruitment of over 500,000 soldiers and allocating $2 million for military purposes. Lincoln also suspended the writ of habeas corpus, allowing the Union to imprison any sympathizer to the Confederacy. Many civilian, political, and military sources were outraged by this decision. Lincoln's military experience was limited, so he quickly learned military strategies out of necessity. General George McClellan, Lincoln's first general, caused Lincoln much grief with his non-aggressive nature, allowing Confederate General Lee's forces to retreat without pursuit after the Union victory at Antietam in the fall of 1862. Following that battle, Lincoln removed him of command and appointed General George Meade in his place. Lincoln issued the first version of the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863, freeing Southern slaves except those in Union states bordering the Confederacy. Lincoln is quoted as saying that his first priority was to save the Union, but emancipation was also a high priority for him. Lincoln also advocated for an amendment to the United States Constitution that prohibited slavery, and his goal was met a few years later with the 13th Amendment. In 1864, Lincoln ran for and won re-election to the presidency against former Union General George McClellan. In his inaugural address, Lincoln outlined his plans for rebuilding the South, stating that it must be done, with malice toward none and charity for all. The Confederacy surrendered on April 9, 1865, and Lincoln delivered a victory speech on April 11, charging everyone in attendance with welcoming back the Confederate States with open arms. 3 days later, on April 14, 1865, the president attended Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., where a Confederate sympathizer and well-known actor, John Wilkes Booth, infiltrated the president's box and shot him in the back of the head.